We are back in the building. Whew, let me breathe. When I tell you, I am super excited to be back. Ray Lewis Show, No Excuses presents. I am truly blessed and highly favored. I'm being brutally honest. These last 3 weeks, whew, breathe, exhale, whatever you need to do, get through it. But I tell you what, probably the most eye-opening 3 weeks I've had in my entire life. So I'm really excited to jump in, just checking in with you guys. Like, I went through something. I've been really, really, really ill. I don't share a lot when I go through things. But yeah, some stuff hit me and it was just absolutely insane. And I think in the midst of it, I'm gonna hurry up and get coaching here because in the midst of it, something happened, right? And, you know, I always talk about my alter ego, Sugar. You know, I got to give you a little bit of Sugar today. I know y'all missed those Sugar. So Sugar is back in the building, right? But in the midst of what I went through, wow, really? So this is why I want to get coaching here because I went through so much in 3 weeks that it doesn't take 3 weeks to get here is the point. It does not take 3 weeks to get here. So without further ado, I want to bring in my rider, my dude, 20 plus years, brother. We've been doing this, man. And bruh, honestly, it's only a few people I talked to when I was going through what I was going through. But T, today, I wanted to hit on the importance of being still.
Wow. It's so important, man. And Ray, anytime that God used anybody in the Bible, think about Moses. He spoke to him in the desert. Jesus went out into the wilderness. There are times in life where you just need to be still and hear from God.
Yeah.
And a lot of times things could bring you to that point, you know, but a lot of times when it's time for isolation, Ray, and stillness, the reason why we can't do it is because we don't like being by ourselves. A lot of times it's tough being alone, without a TV on, without the radio on, without your cell phone close by you. When the last time you took a ride in the car with no music?
I do it every day.
You know, when we was little, my mom used to always say, boy, y'all better turn down that music. Nobody want to hear that music. And I never understood it till now, how important it is to have quietness, stillness in your life. And that's our tip for today. That's what we want to share today. And, you know, I talked to you about this the other day. I was going through something where it's just a lot of fast pace. This is what's next. That's what's next. After this, that's due. And by the time I got to a happy moment that I'm supposed to be celebrating with my daughter, I couldn't even enjoy it. And the reason why I couldn't enjoy it, team, is because I was mentally exhausted. It wasn't from no workout. It was from overthinking with my mind and next thing, one thing from the other. And I'm glad you wanted to talk about this important principle today of being still to hear from God and to recuperate your mind.
Bro, let me tell you why, right? We're in a world that you're always checking your next schedule, where to be next. We're in competition now, right? Who to impress, who who to elevate, who to show that I'm doing. All of these things we're competing for. And I need somebody to hear this. The only disaster that comes from all of these distractions is a tired soul. When your soul is tired. See, I'm telling you, bro, what I went through in 3 weeks, bro, I'm telling you to disconnect. Now, you don't want to disconnect the way I disconnected. You don't want to go through what I went through. But if sometimes, you know, some of the toughest times in life, you said it, right, Daniel, being in the lion's den, all these different things. If I had to go through it to get here and know the outcome of what's on the other side of that, see, I'm going through that again. I'm going through that again because I found something. Bro. I found that one of the greatest abilities, and this is, people will pass garbage all day. People will pass gossip all day. People rarely pass something that'll change your life. I'm going to share something with you today that will forever change your life. If you seek peace, be still. But listen to what I'm telling you. But if you seek wisdom, be silent. See, let me tell you something about wisdom. Wisdom, man, it's so quiet. It's so silent. You cannot interrupt it with nothing that's routinely what you do. Because if you do, you're going to mess it up.
And that's why I even talked about it, Ray, in my book, man, a big difference between hearing and listening. The other day, my daughter was at basketball practice and they was going over the different positions on the floor. And I was like, that's the free throw line, that's the block, that's the baseline. And at the end of it, I kind of was testing her because, you know, she was playing in between. I said, where's the free throw line? And she couldn't show me. She was hearing me, but she wasn't listening. And I always talk about, man, hearing is easy, but listening takes some effort.
Yeah.
And on this championship journey, man, you're going to need to hear from God. You're going to need to hear for guidance and for wisdom and for clarity. And it's tough to do that now because of the phone addictions, the TV addictions, the social media addictions, all the things that we're so entrapped in our world. For somebody out there, man, maybe you could avoid what I went through, man. Don't get to a point where you let your soul get tired.
My goodness.
You know, I did this today. I did that today. And next thing you know, as I looked at my schedule, I was spending major time on minor things. And the older you get in this game, the further you get in this championship mentality, you'll start to really value the essence of time and these moments. And a lot of times we're missing moments because our mind is somewhere else. We have no conscience of being still. You could be on a beach in vacation
and still
with the sunrise and water flowing, and somebody will grab that phone and check and see what's going on. So you could be there physically, but somewhere else mentally. You could be with your spouse, you could be with your kid, you know, you could be thinking you spending time, but you're not present.
Yeah.
And so for our champions that's moving forward in this journey, in this world, man, we got to take a deep breath and breathe.
You got to breathe.
And say, you know what? It's time for me to be still. I know they're out there. I know we outside now. But maybe these principles that you've been learning along the way, maybe it's not time for you yet. I had to go back and revisit rest. Now, remember, stillness is different from being lazy.
It's totally different.
I just needed a moment, man, to detox my mind away from everything, because don't confuse being productive with movement. You can be going here, there, moving, and you could just be making a figure eight, not going anywhere. And so, go ahead, brother.
I'm going to tell you something, bro. 3 weeks of a reset will not only change your life, but it'll change your life of the people around you. Because people come back to you every day and they think you're exactly the same. But what's happening when you're going through this is you're purging yourself, right? And as you keep going and keep going, after you get to day one, I went almost 3 weeks. You know this. I went almost 3 weeks without a phone, without social media, without none of it. I mean,
yeah,
bro,
I didn't even call you for 2 weeks. I knew you was going through it.
You know when I'm going through it. You know when I'm going through it.
Yeah.
And I wasn't sick the whole time.
Right.
But when I'm telling you, when I was going through it, I was looking for a word. I was looking for it. Right? Sometimes that we ask in life, we always say, oh, I'm praying, you know, I ask God for this, I ask God for that. And it don't always have to be God. So don't let us put this in one box, right? We're just saying, I got to a point to where I said, I'm looking for something. I need an answer. And let me tell you something. When I found the answer, I didn't have a phone. I didn't have a television. I didn't have nobody around me. And when I finally figured it out, I'm not exaggerating. I looked up and I'm watching the sunrise. And I said, no way. You just gave me this. Because when I'm Jesus, being still. You gotta be still to run into your blessings. That's why we keep missing our blessings. That's why our blessings keep going out the other side of the door, because we keep blocking the door with all of our junk, all of our mess, all of our things that we want to pile onto it. If God says, I promise you something, his promise never comes back void. And the only thing that makes it void is you keep going the opposite direction. When I got up and I went forward and I looked at this sunrise, I said, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. And I realized, bro, that we've been tricked. We've been tricked to take away who we are. We've been tricked we're distracted, T. Everything is pulling us away from everything, all of social media. We don't interact. We don't socialize with the family. We don't sit down and pray together. We don't sit down and have conversations without our phones. We don't travel and actually experience the areas that we actually go in. See, everything is like we're robots. And what I broke in 3 weeks was I broke the spell. And I'm telling somebody else that you're caught up in a spell of all of these people, Instagrams and Facebooks and all of these stuff. And we're caught. And the only way to get out of it is you must be still, and you must be in the right place, and you must be around the right energies. And if not, I promise you a bad day.
And I'm telling you, man, don't try to avoid the mistake that I made. And that's why we're here, man. I love our team because we learn from each other. This is not something that, you know, we're sharing with people and like we've mastered. We're going through it too as men. And I always tell people this journey doesn't have a finish line. You go from learning to learning to learning, on and on. And again, this principle could help somebody because again, you know, during COVID, the world shut down. And a lot of people was like, you know what? God's shutting us down.
Yeah.
A lot of people found out things they didn't need, things that they were wasting money on. I mean, it was a good time for a lot of people, but now we outside. And the only thing I'm saying is, hey, let's take a time out again. Let's take a time out.
Yeah.
Let's breathe. You know, maybe it's outside for somebody else, but maybe it's not time for you to be outside yet. Maybe you still need to hear from God. Maybe there's some things you still need clarity on. Maybe you still are trying to put together that vision that we talked about weeks and weeks ago. But you're right, we're so busy, and I try to tell myself and others, don't let your mouth overload your back.
My goodness.
Monty, can you do this? Monty, can you be there? I got this project I'm working on. Can you help me with that? And what I had to learn is I can't say yes to everything.
Not everybody.
I just can't, because I'm at the point in my life where the health of my soul is more important than anything else. So our team out there, as we move forward, man, this week is just about, man, being still. And again, when you're being quiet and you're being still, man, that's a good time to hear from God and to get clarity in your life. Take a time out, man. It's okay to take a step back.
It's okay. Be still and your decisions become clear. You know how many times we've sat in a room with each other and said absolutely nothing, and everything that we was looking for became that much more clearer? I just want you to I'm gonna take you back to years of sitting and listening to Dr. Miles Monroe's sermons and not saying a word. And when we got done with the sermon, the decisions became very clear.
Because we were listening.
I'm telling you to work with me today now. I'm trying to tell you. Because it ain't all to see. The thing it is, some people think being still is always bad news. Being still ain't always bad news, right? Stillness can be the difference between a right decision or a wrong decision, right? And that's where we have to understand what being still means. I'm telling you, I found more joy in being still than I have found moving in my entire life. And if anybody know me, just like you know me, Ray, come do this. Ray, speak here. Ray, do this. Ray, do that. Man, when I finally got to a point that said, no, I'm not doing none of that. I found something, bro. And I'm telling you, man, so this is, I think today is, for me, getting back in it totally, feeling better and everything. I think today, I just really wanted to share what I experienced these last 3 weeks in being still. I'm gonna challenge people this week on what does it mean to be still? What does it mean to calm your mind? What does it mean to drive to work in peace and in harmony and not checking the next text and not going to the next song, and this next song got you thinking about the club, and this next song got you thinking about this next, oh bruh, by the time you get there, you're already drained and you don't even know that your soul is already tired. But but you get to work and tell the boss, I ain't got time for this today. What?
Hey, when you at work. When you at play. You know, but the point that we're trying to make is, I can't be getting ready for the day. I'm taking a shower. I'm already thinking about what I'm gonna be doing. You can't be thinking about the office. You on your way to work. You can't be thinking about, okay, what I'm gonna be doing after lunch break on this, that, and the other. What I've learned is to be present in the moment.
Yes, sir.
I'll think about work when I'm at work.
At work.
But right now I'm at home with my family.
Yeah.
Right now I'm focusing on this. Yeah. And so again, man, this championship mentality, it's a rough ride. It's not easy. It's a tough, but we need each other. And we have to share these things because we kind of built to keep going. Grinding, one thing after the next. I don't get no sleep. No. You got to take a time out, man. And somewhere in the Bible it says, be still and know that I am God.
Woo!
And a lot of times you don't have to move. Like if you're going through a storm, a lot of times you don't have to seek this and seek that. All you have to do is be still.
Be still.
And let the storm go past.
Yes, sir.
So to our team out there, man, it's okay to unplug. It's okay if you feel mentally exhausted. Yeah. I have people that have come to me. I've been in the situation myself. I'm just tired today. What, you had a hard workout? No, I ain't even work out. You ain't worked out and you tired?
Tired.
So tired. I had a good night of rest. Yeah. Really? I had 8 hours of rest, but I'm tired. You're so tired. So let's protect that, man, as we going on this journey of being a champion, overcoming the battles that we're in, personal battles, private battles, all those battles that we have to face as a champion. Sometimes you got to unplug, baby. Something wrong with that cable. You call that cable company, first thing they're going to tell you, unplug that first.
What happened when the phone started going crazy? What's the first thing they tell you to do?
Power off.
Power off.
We do that to everything but ourselves.
We do it to everything else, but we won't do it to ourselves because we think we're going to miss something.
And it's not selfish. A lot of people could shut down and you got to tell people no, you know, I believe you got a great vision. I'm praying for you. I hope that worked through. Yeah. But it's not that I don't have time. You just don't understand. I have to protect my energy. There's only so much energy we got. And to keep it real, nobody know how many birthdays they got left.
Nobody.
So the worst thing could happen is your day's over, or you feel like you very sick or in a sick bed, and you realize you haven't lived.
You never
lived. That you missed moments. And
trying to impress everybody else, trying to swipe on social media, trying to keep up with the Joneses, and you have missed your entire life. Coach,
yeah, man.
It gets absolutely no better. Championship mentality. Today is about being still. The challenge this week is you must take 10 minutes a day and find yourself in places that you can be. Disconnect from electronics. Disconnect. I did it for 3 weeks. And I'm telling you, 3 weeks, and maybe I had my phone maybe 20 to 30 minutes a day. So I just came off of doing it, and I'm telling you, it will forever change your life. Coach.
You found out you didn't miss much, right?
I found out I wasn't missing nothing. What I did found out, I was missing celebrating me.
Missing the moment.
I was missing the moment, Coach.
Man, you can't get so tired that when the moment comes, the celebration comes, that you tired. We cannot do that. We cannot do that. Moving forward, man, take that time out if you must. It's not selfish, it's self-care. Yeah. And it's also self-love. Now, you might be dealing with it because you might be working on self-love. Yeah. Because there are some people that don't like to be by themselves. There's some people that don't like isolation. Yeah. But the more you learn to love yourself, the more you value yourself, the more you learn where you come from and who created you and your source. Now you understand your value. You will spend time with yourself. Take full responsibility for the things that have happened in your life, you know, and just look in that mirror, man, and be all right with yourself, flaws and all. Yeah. Say, you know what? Let me give myself, my life a timeout. Let me just be still and talk to me, Lord. Yes, tell me what I need to do before I move forward. And man, great things are happening for you, man. Good decisions.
I'm gonna let you go. Remember our great grandmas and any grandmother that's listening, they used to always say, sit your behind down somewhere. They used to always say that. And you used to be like, why? Sit down somewhere, boy. Because you just don't know how much you be doing, man. Coach, I love you, brother. Get out of here, man.
One thing I want to say before we go, man. Yeah. And I think I mentioned this before. Check this out, right? All religions, you know, there's always a battle with religions. That's why I don't deal with religions. We don't do religions, okay? Right. But the one thing they all agree on is fasting. Okay. And what fasting does for the body is like taking a break from eating and drinking and always eating every few minutes, every few hours. Yeah. They all believe when you fast, your spirit gets more clarity. You get to hear more from God.
Yeah. Or a higher power.
Imagine when we turn our minds off and our souls off and we fast from the things that keep us busy in our mind.
I just did it.
How much more powerful will we be mentally?
I just did it.
When we come out of this.
I just did it. 3 weeks of it. God bless you, brother. I love you, man.
One love.
All right, brother. Look, you know what's interesting? Business is an illness of spirit. It's the one thing that takes the spirit away from us. It's being so busy. And you wonder how the world has always created these things for us to be so busy. But I'm going to share this with you. You must ruthlessly hurry, remove hurry from your life. You must figure out a way to get hurry out of your life. Hurry is the one thing that tells you you don't value life. You don't value the moments of life. I heard this quote so profoundly spoken. He said, all men need enough silence and solitude in their lives to enable the deep inner voice of their own true self to be heard, at least occasionally. Just imagine if we all need a moment to just hear from ourselves occasionally. The battle is simple this week. For the rest of your life, this is probably one of the most important principles that we've ever spoken about on Championship Mentality. And it's about totally resetting. It's about totally being still. And it's okay to be still, and it's okay to tell everybody that you don't want to do what everybody else wants you to do. But this week, I just went through 3 weeks of it. And it forever changed the way I saw what I've accomplished, what I have yet to accomplish. But more importantly, what's really not my business. That's what I found out. I found out that everything you think is your business, it's not. Be still this week. 10 minutes a day. Totally disconnecting. Power down. And when you come out of it, write down 3 things that changes in your everyday life before I see you next week. Send us text, tweet, however you want to get the information to us. But we need to see this change. Be still and know that God is in full control. God bless you. Thank you for joining us.